Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Future of Fashion podcast. My name is Victoire, and I am joined today by Sandra.
Morning.
Sandra, welcome, and thank you very much for joining us today. First of all, Sandra, we'd like to discuss a bit of your work because you are literally multi-talented. You are an education specialist, you are a dancer, a presenter, and a creative. Could you share with us how all these roles influence your work on a daily basis?
Do you know, it's such a great question. It's not a question that gets asked a lot because I think sometimes when you think about the job or the career that you want to do, a lot of us and a lot of people have to specialise and focus on one role. What I love about what I do is I feel like almost like it's like an umbrella, okay? So you have that kind of creative engine at the heart of it, and then offshoots of that, you get to be the producer, you get to be, the action instructor, you get to create new ideas, but then you also get to follow them through. So it's almost like I enjoy the process of coming up with a concept, whether it's educational, dance-based, having the dream, if you like, and then actually being able to execute it all the way through from A to Z. So what I do, I'm very, very lucky because everything is interconnected and everything kind of benefits every other role. For example, being creative is great for education because it means that you can come up with new and novel, innovative ways to problem solve, to make things different. And also creativity is the engine behind progress and making change. So my brain is the type of brain that needs stimulus, if you like. So I'm always kind of seeking to look outside the box. And I think all of these different hats that I wear, pardon the pun, is really beneficial because it means that I don't have to specialise in one thing. I like to almost say that you don't have to be 100% good at one thing, but it's good to be 1% good or proficient at 100 things, right? So no one's perfect. We're all just kind of human. We're just kind of making our way through every single day. And I kind of look at what I do like that. And I learn as I go a lot as well. So I feel like they're just like the different arms of an umbrella, if you like. So
Yeah, no, it all makes sense. And you're doing all of that perfectly.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
So coming on your dancing, because we know how talented you are when it comes to being on the dance floor, and dance is such a powerful way of you to share a story with the people around you. How do you use movement to communicate ideas, emotions, messages that might be hard to express?
Mm-hmm. It's true. I think if you're not from a dance or movement background, a lot of people, they convey instructions, messaging verbally. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of the kind of unseen emotions, etc., that people maybe day to day don't feel comfortable with verbalizing publicly or on a stage. The great thing about dance is it's almost like the bridge that makes the invisible visible, because movement is a language in itself. So when you connect to music, when you connect to that type of movement, it's almost like humans have this kind of subconscious understanding of the language of movement. It's like when we talk about frisson, goosebumps, when you hear an amazing song. It may even be in a different language, it may not have lyrics, but you feel a connection to the vibration of that. And I don't think there's enough emphasis put on the fact that our bodies are an entire communication centre of their own. Dance is almost like, for a lot of people, a safe way to talk, because the body always talks. Body movement, body energy, it's always talking, whether we know it is or not. So I think for a lot of people, dance is it's another language. It's an unspoken language. It's something that we will pick up visually and audibly with the music, but humans have an inherent connection of understanding the story that's coming behind that. So it's almost like the bridge that makes the invisible visible. It's like emotion, energy and motion. Everything that connects with the energy behind it makes sense. And we all dance differently. And I like to think that is almost like, dance is a language, but we all have our accents and everything is fine, because it comes through. You are the lens, you are the filter, you are the conduit. We all hear music differently. So for example, when I hear a song, my body knows how it wants to translate that, but for someone else, the translation might be different, and that's okay. Dance is a very personal thing, but it's something that is shared and everybody understands it and everybody loves it.
Yes,
you know, you know what I mean? Dance is medicine, movement is medicine, the body is supposed to move.
Yes.
You know, I often reference the song by the Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
There is a song called Shake It Off. And also we say that a lot too, shake it off, shake it off. It's actually a very, very good way to de-stress. You know, in times of stress, in a situation where your nervous system is activated, sometimes we will shake.
That's
you know,
true.
if you're nervous, your body knows what to do. It's trying to literally shake the stress off. It knows what to do. But if you can intentionally do that to music and create that vibe, this is what we were born to do. And you know, Zumba does that for people. Zumba started off as a dance fitness brand that people wanted to come and get fit and, you know, but then it turned into something completely different because there was a magic that no one could really put a name on, but people knew there was something that happened in class that just, they released any resistance they had with themselves. They didn't think about their day. They didn't think about their problems. They didn't think about anything that was going on in their life. It was almost like they reclaimed some time to be completely present. And if you go to any Zumba class or you speak to anyone who loves Zumba, they never talk about, oh, I go to Zumba because, you know, the choreography is technically perfect. That's not what we do. They go because they feel good. Everyone always says, oh, I have so much fun. You know, I have this, I have that. Because actually the dance is hugely important. The music is hugely important. But it's what happens to a person mentally and physically is where the magic happens in a class. So that is that in a nutshell. You know, dance is for everyone. I never believe anyone when they say, oh, I can't dance. Everybody can dance. You may not think you can dance, but if you get to a place of no resistance when you are free, trust me, you can dance. And you'll always find that in a Zumba class. It's a free space. Zero judgment, zero intimidation. It's a free space, and that's why people love it so much.
That was so beautifully well said.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Because we are so interested in what you do, but also of what you are planning to do. We'd love to know more about your future projects. What are your aspirations as a creative, as a dancer, as a producer? So looking ahead, what type of creative projects do you currently have in the pipeline? And what are you the most excited to achieve in the next couple of months and years to come?
Oh my goodness, it's every day I come up with something that I want to do. You know, I have a little giggle because I'm at a time period in my life where sometimes I think I should know what I should be doing, but then there's also this part of me that kind of changes and goes with the flow. One thing I do know for sure is I don't think I will ever not be part of Zumba. Because I actually found myself in Zumba. You know, coming from a dance background, etc. When I came into Zumba, there was just such a feeling of finding your place. And it doesn't matter what your background is, people find that place. So I will always be here with Zumba, and I'm so grateful because I actually get the opportunity to be myself and have ideas and do amazing events like this and be part of that. But looking forward to the future, I know that I definitely want to still be involved in creating safe spaces for people, more education in terms of inclusivity, because we're very lucky at Zumba. Diversity and difference is the norm for us. But I know that's not reflected in a lot of areas in society. So moving forward for me, with Zumba and also out with Zumba, it's always going to be creating and educating people about self-acceptance, knowing that your individuality it's not something that should be tolerated. You should be here because you deserve to be here. You are not in a room because someone allows you to be in a room. You're in that room because you deserve to be in that room. So these are the spaces moving forward that I want to create, whether it's in a dance show, whether it's in a piece, in a fashion show, teaching Zumba, the trainings that I teach with Zumba and being part of that brand. It will move forward and it will evolve, and we will educate more people. And if we all do one little bit at a time, small changes make big changes. You know, sometimes it has to be the smallest thing. It may not be a plan at this point, but I know it will always include creating spaces where people can feel that they belong, they're celebrated, and they're seen just for the fact that they have purpose and they should be there. So whatever way that takes, whether it's dance classes, seminars, I do a lot of female empowerment projects. It's one of my passions as well. I work with some great female-led charities. So that is where I'm going. That is where I will be. And that's going to be the future until, you know, I have to stop doing Zumba because, you know, they put me into a special facility for, you know, people who don't do Zumba anymore.
I get that.
But it will always be there. It will always be present. And dance is a constant. When that's in your heart, it's not something you can walk away from, if you like. Yeah. So definitely. Expansion, knowledge, and getting to a place in life, I think, where we don't have to use the word inclusivity because it is a norm.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's important, especially now. It's definitely important. I think being part of a project, especially a company like Bullock Inclusion, where your messaging is that of being a change maker, educating people about the fact that diversity and difference exists. It is not something that is to be viewed as wrong. It's about getting to a place where everyone feels seen. But in order to do that, we need to find a way, be it through dance, be it through Zumba, which we already do, to let people have what they need to be able to feel like they can move, they can dance, they can be included without feeling different, but still feeling unique. Because this is the thing, sometimes we don't want to feel different, but we have to honour the fact that we are unique.
That's true.
I always say to a lot of people that come into Zumba classes and perhaps, you know, they have different capabilities. We see it in a class every single day. Everyone has different capabilities. It's not less or more, it's just difference. And we need to find a way to educate people so that when we teach class, whether it's dance or anything else, events like this, that make people feel like, you know what, I can do this. You know, I can move in my own way. I can find a way that suits me. You know, this makes me feel like I'm part of something, I'm happy. You know, so it's about finding a way to reach people in a way that's great for them. And sometimes I think as well, it's such a beautiful thing when someone realises that they can. You know, sometimes they have preconceptions about their abilities, and then when you show them a way that works, it opens up an entire new world for them. You know, and they realise, you know what, I can do this. And I think once you get into that mindset, there's no stopping you. It's basically you're unstoppable, you know. So I think changing minds, changing hearts, this event is incredible because that's what we're doing, education and finding a way for everybody to feel that they have purpose. I often use the analogy in a lot of my sessions and workshops when people maybe feel like they can't do something or they don't want to do something because maybe it looks slightly different to other people. And I always say, you're the only person that exists with your fingerprint. There is no one else in the universe that has your fingerprint. And if you just think about that for a second, that tells you how unique you are. There is no one like you. No one can be you. You just have to find your thing and own it. Every single day. Just find a way. And that's what we do. We find a way to include everybody.
That was so beautiful. I felt like she was talking to me personally. I feel so inspired by what she just said. That was fantastic.
Oh,
thank you so much, Sandra. That was
thank
amazing.
you. Now I'm thinking about all these things now for my next project. I'm like, actually, that's a great question because we know what we do.
We do.
And we, you know, like, for example, in a Zumba class, there's no levels in Zumba. There's no beginner Zumba, no advanced Zumba. There is only Zumba. So we have to, as instructors in a class, find the thing that works for everybody. Because everyone's success and confidence in that class is our responsibility as the instructor. You know, Zumba is a class you come into and you dance out. You know, you don't need any experience, you don't need to know the dances, but as the instructor, we find the way to reach that person, the type of communication that they need to feel like they can do it and they can dance and they can just rock out the door. You walk in, dance out like Beyonce, you know, same thing. And every Zumba class is the same. Have you taken a Zumba class?
Never.
Have you taken a Zumba class?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Time for a Zumba class, I think.
Yeah,
for
sounds
everyone.
like it. Thank you so much, Sandra, for your time today. And here in the Bullock Inclusion and at the Future of Fashion show, we are looking forward to see where the future takes you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you, and we're really looking forward to this project. It's going to be amazing.
Fantastic.